a propaganda war. It's a PSYOP war, and that's a large part of what it's going to be as well. We're going to talk about what's going on, the latest developments in it. Of course, one Texas congressman has come out bravely and said, yeah, we need to be concerned about what the government is doing. We need to watch what the government's doing. Louis Gohmert, and of course, he knows that he's going to be vilified. He knows that they are going to ridicule him, that they are going to come after him personally, make straw man arguments about how he's irrationally paranoid. I would say if there's any party on the earth that is irrationally paranoid, it has to be the federal government. They criticize people who are preppers. They criticize people who want to understand what our government is doing, yet they are the ones who are doing the most extreme things everywhere and then demanding that we not pay any attention to it at all. This, for example, this story that's up on the Drudge Report right now from Infowars.com, DHS-funded spy tag knows when you visit the bathroom. And when I saw this, I thought about the Drudge Report story that's been up for the last couple of days about the mayor here just north of Austin, a place called Georgetown, Texas, passed the torch over to the mayor pro tem and went to the restroom and had a lav mic on. Remember they had that guy that had killed several people. They caught him in a documentary, and when he went to the restroom, and he says, "I'll kill them all." So now he's under arrest. He had beaten the rap for decades, but he got nailed by a lav mic that was still turned on. Well, the same thing happened in Georgetown. The guy walks off, and that video is very funny. Especially when he flushes the toilet. Everybody breaks down laughing. That, at the time I saw it a couple of days ago, it had 2.8 million views. So that is everywhere. But this stuff is serious. We have a paranoid, dangerous government that wants to know everything about us. They want to track everywhere we go. When they negotiate trade deals in secret, when they pass laws in secret, when our congressmen, our elected representatives are told, get out of here, you can't see this. When they talk about stakeholders are going to put this together, then you understand that we, the people, don't have a stake in this. Our elected representatives don't have a stake in it. We are not stakeholders. It's the stakeholders who are putting together the Trans-Pacific Partnership in secret. And we need to just shut up. And now we got Mitch McConnell just giddy about how he and Obama are now buds. You know, you won't believe this, but, you know, we just get along great on this trade agreement. It's like, no, I believe it. I believe it. I know where this is going. Alex Jones has been talking about it for decades. We all know where this is going. Barry Goldwater knew where this was going decades ago as well. We just read that quote earlier in the show. We know exactly where this is going. Mitch, I have no problem at all believing that you and Obama are just laughing it up over what you're doing to the American people. But this is a government that wants to know everywhere we go, including the bathroom. As Paul Joseph Watson points out, a new RFID tag designed to track objects or people in a closed environment, unquote, which is being funded by the Department of Homeland Security, even has the ability to know when you visit the bathroom. And as one person says, how long before they incorporate this technology into driver's licenses? That's a privacy blog, Mass Private Eye. Can you say Real ID? DHS's National Driver's License Tracking Program, when they're installed in your driver's license, they'll know which vehicle you're driving. Well, yeah, you know what? They've already got black boxes. We've talked about this over and over again. They've already got the black boxes in your car. They just need the Wi-Fi capability, and they have mandated that. I believe that the V2V technology, which the Department of Transportation out of Washington laughingly calls talking cars, that's going to be here within, I think, it's either 2016 or 2017. They're going to start mandating that in cars, in the new cars. Then they will retrofit it to the older cars. And guess what they're going to be talking about? You. Who will they be talking to you about? The government. Tracking everything you do. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Joe Biggs talking about Jade Helm. We've got former Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst is going around making the talk show circuit. He immediately jumped on this as soon as Governor Abbott sympathized with concerns of citizens because, you know, somebody with a CIA background, Joe, like David Dewhurst, you know, citizens don't need to know what's going on, number one. Number two, you don't need to be concerned if they have concerns. Just ignore them. They're just peons and peasants. They're not stakeholders. Right? So just ignore him. So he criticized it, of course, making some political points, and now he's going on CNN. We're going to play a clip of that in a moment. But
anyway, he goes on to say that, you know, a lot of people go on, you know, and say Texas is one of the greatest states, and this kind of proves the fact that we have a good governor as well who's willing to help kind of calm everyone down a bit. He heard his constituents. He's heard what people are worried about, and he's going to actually do something about it. I think that's amazing. I don't know why they want to attack him over that. The people, that's his job.
Yes.
He's doing his job.
I would like it to have some politicians who are aware of what our concerns are and respond to them. In Bastrop, we've got the judge there who basically, he's not really like a legal judge, a judicial judge. He's actually the chief administrator of the county. Basically, he had that dog and pony show there of the lieutenant colonel that was involved in the operation, and he said, "We're not here to change people's minds." And it's like, well, what are you here for? You know, in other words, you could care less what we think.
It was a televised psyop. That's all it was. Because what they did is they were doing damage control from when Thomas Mead of Metrics Global originally posted that video where they were talking about Jade Helm, and he really told the truth about what was going on, that there would be interaction in civilian attire in the public, and that cops see someone to pull them over, things like that. This time, it was Lieutenant Colonel Mark Lastoria as the puppet for this, you know, contract company for this guy. And then, you know, I think Jakari's actually working on a video, and we're going to show how many times Mark Lastoria looks back at Thomas Mead to see, like, is it okay? Like, checking with his puppet master, like, oh, am I doing the right thing? Because that's all they were. They were just trying to damage control.
It's just like we see with the Trans-Pacific Partnership. You can't read that agreement. You can't take any pictures of it. You can't talk to anybody about it. And
just trust us when we tell you what it says.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we see that even our congressmen don't have any power, right? And so you got this guy who's a lieutenant colonel, and he's looking at this guy in the suit from the private company for authorization for everything he's got to do. Everybody that attended that meeting had that comment. They couldn't believe how he kept referring to that guy. And then there was actually a guy who stood up and said, well, you've introduced yourself, but who is this guy in the suit that you keep looking at and talking to?
Because he will be the one running the operation. Lieutenant Mark Lastoria is just a puppet.
Yeah.
He is just a face for SOCOM to go up there and stand and to help calm some people with his little psyop that he was running out there. It was complete and total BS. The people there did not buy what he was saying. I didn't buy it. You know, Jakari would, I mean, me and him would look at each other and be like, what is this guy talking about? It completely contradicted the original thing they came out to do.
Yes.
I mean, it's...
Well, and of course, the spin was that they were going to do this on private property, okay?
Yeah.
They already had permission, so you got a problem with private property? Just shut up. It's none of your business what's done on private property. Making it sound as if private property owners had initiated this whole training operation.
Well, yeah, they're like they put out some Craigslist ad or something like that. Hey, we're SOCOM. Do you mind giving up your hundreds of acres so we can come out here? And then these people called and implied. No. Yeah. From what I talked to, I've got a guy that I'm going to go on his property when the training starts. He's he's lined up with another property who gave up 100-something acres for this. And he said that the government came, knocked on the door to people's properties saying, hey, can we come do this?
Oh, absolutely.
So they lied in the entire...
Well, the whole slideshow that was up there, the very beginning of it,
they denied
it says
the
purpose that we're here. The purpose we're here to give you this slideshow. And they went to all these different local governments all over Texas, Utah, everywhere that they're going. And they said the purpose is to get a written invitation from local city council, from the county government. Why would they need to have written permission from the local governments if it's all about private property?
Exactly.
So, you know, he keeps spinning this one way after the other. And it was interesting when I got the call from the local ABC affiliate asking me, you know, why are you guys so afraid? And she had gone to the Bastrop meeting, and she had even written an article on it the day after, on Tuesday. The Bastrop meeting was on Monday. She wrote an article on it on Tuesday. I talked to her on Wednesday, and when I mentioned that, I said, well, look at the very purpose here. She says, are they not telling you the truth about something? I said, yeah. They said they're looking for written permission from the local governments, and then they say this is all about private property, so just shut up. I said, and she said, where'd you read that from? I said, that's
in the slideshow they put out.
That's the document. That's the basis for this whole report to start with this. But of course, you know, we've been doing reports on the militarization of the police for a very long time. But the point is that the press is not really doing any investigation on this. We see nothing but just using the term conspiracy theory, dismissing it that way, becoming a mockingbird press, and that's what the CIA
it's the same cookie cutter answer every time from CNN, from Fox, and all these places.
Yeah.
They say the same thing. They push out the same narrative. None of them have done any actual investigation. I mean, just like when they say there's no ISIS in Mexico or in Texas. Okay, now we know.
Yeah.
You know, we actually went and looked. They don't do it. They just read off a teleprompter, and that's what's ridiculous. I don't know how people can
Google as a reporter. I mean, they don't even go in and Google this to look up what's going on. They don't know anything about what unconventional warfare is. They haven't looked at the documents. They don't know the history of the training. You and I were in Fort A.P. Hill, which is an asymmetric warfare center, a year ago. We were walking through it. Alex was broadcasting it live. They spent $96 million to create a replica of an American city that was very different from the kinds of urban warfare that you've seen in practice with bombed out buildings and that sort of thing, going building to building. They spent $96 million, and of course, it was supposed to be somewhere in the $60 million. There's some clips of it right now of where we were last year. It was originally budgeted for $60-some-odd million, so that's 50% over budget. Just like the Pentagon always does, but that's not good enough for them. They've got to come into America.
Yeah, so that looks just like Iraq right there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a school bus. The roads don't have potholes from IEDs. Oh, wait, there's a mosque over there. I mean, that. I mean, they're